Good morning. Okay, today I want to talk about capability. I think, especially here in the US, we have this bigger, better, stronger, faster philosophy, and I don't know that it always serves us. There's a great channel, I assume he's still around, called Nut and Fancy on YouTube back in the day, and he would talk a lot about capability, and he really influenced me and the way I've developed my style of approaching things. For example, here in my shop, I only have this teensy weensy little air compressor, but it does 99% of what I need it to do. Now, it only has this tiny little tank, so when I'm airing up the wheels on the cars or something, it takes some time, but it's still a heck of a lot faster than driving to the gas station and filling them up there. And sometimes those are broken or not working in some way, and then you're looking for another gas station. So even though it takes me a little longer because it only has that tiny tank, I'm still able to get it done. It's a very capable little machine, and it doesn't take up very much space. It wasn't very expensive. So yes, I could do it faster, but for how often I need to use it and the needs I have, I don't need a bigger machine. So I deal with that. Another thing, my motorcycle. It's a 390. I didn't get a 1000 or a 1200. I'd rather have a 390 that I use the vast majority of its capability when I'm out riding, doing my normal things. I'm not typically doing a ton of freeway driving. I'm not doing long haul trips. It does everything I need it to do. If I had a 1000, I would use 20% of its capacity almost all the time, and almost never, if ever, use it to its full potential. Whereas with a 390, I actually use some level of its capability. So here, I can give you more examples. My life is filled with these examples. Hi, chickie chickies. Good morning, chickie chickies. So I became interested in sailing. And if you look up sailing, boat, bust out another 1,000. Or I think now they say bust out another 10,000 is the new saying. But you can get these Hobie kayaks. And don't get me wrong, Hobie, you pay the Hobie tax. Hobie kayaks are expensive compared to a typical kayak. But these have mast holes, and you can buy these. You can see them in the pipes there. I have a sail for all three sails rather, for the various Hobie kayaks. So I was able to learn to sail for a very affordable price point with a very reliable boat that doesn't require a ton of maintenance. I'm not busting out another 1,000, but I got to enjoy the experience of learning to sail. I'm a quarter mile from a boat launch, so I can drag them down. I've got a tandem, I've got solos, so I can go sailing. I can go sailing with my friends. And maybe we're not on a multi-million-dollar catamaran or something, but hey, we're out sailing and we have fun. It's great. Or let's take this rain barrel. I mean, that's only 55 gallons, but the garden here, our whole garden project, I already have irrigation all set up. We've got a well, I've got solar, which helps power the well, so it offsets our energy costs. There's a really great system, and it works well together. So one of the things people would say is, well, you got to get rain catchment. You got to have a rain barrel. So, and I agree, we should have a rain barrel, but I don't need a 5,000 gallon capacity setup. This is 55 gallons. Yes, it's got a spigot here, and yes, I could water the plants with it, but that's not really why it's here. For me, this is Florida. We have hurricanes. If we ever have pollutants in the water and we needed an emergency water supply, to me, this is our emergency water supply. And again, you can always do more, you can always do bigger, but having 55 gallons of fresh water that we can use to water ourselves, water the chickens, give to our cats if we needed, that's enough to get us through, especially if we rationed it very tightly. That's enough to get us through if there was an emergency. So the reason I bring up all this, the reason I'm dragging you through this long example, is it's so easy to be drawn into that. It's got to be the biggest, it's got to be the most expensive, it's got to be, but geez, paying for that, maintaining that, it becomes a drain. And I think it's real easy to get into that that maelstrom of chasing that bigger, faster thing. And next thing you know, you're just working to support all the things, or the one or two things, without having the time to enjoy it. So I'm not saying this is for you, but for me, for me, hey Salty, hey Salty, where you going? Pretty girl. So for me, I just think that if we can find the ways to cut back a little and trim back a little and not go for the biggest and best thing, maybe we can have a little more fun, maybe we can have a little more adventure, maybe we can work a little less hard. Maybe our interests can be a little more diverse by not letting ourselves be drawn into that bigger, better, fastest, fanciest, biggest isn't always best. So I don't know if that resonates with any of you or if it'll help you at all, but yeah, those are my thoughts this morning, and now I'm gonna go build a lumber cart. Exciting stuff. It's exciting to me. Storage in that tiny shop is always a challenge, and right now I don't have anywhere to keep all the material, other than that thing I built along the ceiling that holds some material. Grumpy chickens. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go build a lumber cart. Don't try to stop me. It's happening. Cool. Talk to you soon. Thanks for following. Y'all rock. Ah!